The parliament has been sued in Zambia. So this is the first time it has ever happened in Zambia. The whole parliament, starting from the speaker to the elected MPs to the nominated MPs, they have all been sued for contempt. That is the breaking news, guys. It is a breaking news. So, Akunakulala, we are all worried. We don't know what's going to happen. It's a lot of things to digest, you know. You know, a lot is going on. A lot of treachery. A lot of backstabbing. It's just dirty, nasty politics. If you have ever seen I'm a politics, this is it. We are living it. Vena Zambia. Let's listen to Mama Katebe as I am sharing. Okay. I have an audio here for Mama Katebe.
I think it's good that we are here together, and also this gives me an opportunity without permission from my colleagues to speak to you as our opposition leaders. I think we are looking at you, we are watching you, we are seeing the confusion that is there, and we are worried as Zambians. That is what is going to make the ruling party have the energy and the character that they have today, because they are seeing the confusion that is in the opposition. You know yourselves, you know who can lead, you know, you weigh yourselves and say, for this time around, we cannot all be presidents. When we weigh ourselves, we can know one or two that we can depend on to say this one can be our leader. So this is an assignment to you as well. Go back and work on who should be your leader and support that one person. For as long as you all remain presidents and appear on that ballot paper, I can assure you votes will be split, and what you want to achieve, you will not achieve. I thought I could mention that as just an opportunity given to me in the presence of all of you.
So wise words there from Mama Beauty Katebe. I'll just repeat that audio. Wise words from Mama Beauty Katebe advising the opposition to be united and not split the vote. So I will play that again as we share.
It's good that we are here together, and also this gives me an opportunity without permission from my colleagues to speak to you as our opposition leaders. I think we are looking at you, we are watching you, we are seeing the confusion that is there, and we are worried as Zambians. That is what is going to make the ruling party have the energy and the character that they have today, because they are seeing the confusion that is in the opposition. You know yourselves, you know who can lead, you know, you weigh yourselves and say, for this time around, we cannot all be presidents. When we weigh ourselves, we can know one or two that we can depend on to say this one can be our leader. So this is an assignment to you as well. Go back and work on who should be your leader and support that one person. For as long as you all remain presidents and appear on that ballot paper, I can assure you votes will be split, and what you want to achieve, you will not achieve. I thought I could mention that as just an opportunity given to me in the presence of all of you.
So that is wise words from Mama Beauty Katebe. The country is on fire, literally on fire. Everybody's online, and people are talking, you know. People are upset. BILL7 would bring us change. People are upset, people are confused, and we are here basically to talk about the developing stories Yes, so the developing stories, Mwevantu, is that that the Bill 7 was taken to Parliament. I think yesterday, today they had the third reading, and they are supposed to vote for the Bill 7 tomorrow. So there has been so much confusion surrounding this Bill 7. It's messy. It's been messy, you know. The desperation of UPND has been laid bare. UPND has been exposed. You know, if we look back, what happened in June, on June 25, the Concord ruled against this Bill 7. And after that ruling of the Concord, the president went ahead and appointed a technical committee, which was illegal. This technical committee was supposed to be comprised of all stakeholders from all areas of the community, and but instead we saw the president hand-picking people who went into that technical committee for the Bill 7. They started work in the I think end of October all the way to 26th November. That's when they closed, and then Monday the technical committee submitted the report to the president, and the findings of that report were private. They were not made public, but it was just a summary. We were told there were 11,000 submissions plus, and this was done in 12 days, which is an illegality in itself. First, the composition, the process was wrong. The Bill 7 is wrong. From on top of the Bill 7 being an illegal bill, they appointed a technical committee, which is also an illegal committee. And when that illegal committee finished their work, they submitted the work illegally to the president at State House. This technical committee should have submitted the work to the parliament. So then, you know, we saw the Oasis Foundation Forum have a fallout with the State House. They planned a protest which was not approved. Instead, there was a dialogue which didn't end well. The State House suspended it, and Oasis Forum cancelled it. We saw the consortium of opposition come together, write a letter, and today we saw the consortium of opposition meet with the Oasis Foundation. That is where Madam Katebe was advising the opposition to be strong and be united. So this is the current affairs that is happening. In the same vein, the State House is saying we should tell them what is undemocratic in the Bill 7. And I have a few things that are undemocratic in this Bill 7. One of the undemocratic things in Bill 7 is that in Article 103, in the Zambian Constitution, this concerns the presidential election petitions. So in Bill 7, the courts were going to be empowered to hear and determine presidential cases. What does it mean? So if there is a dispute in the president's election, instead of the court hearing the cases from the defendant and the plaintiff, the court will just hear the cases and determine. Okay, so one person can go and contest let's say we are in 2026 and we have the election, and then I go to court and say that the president Hakainde did not win this election, it was rigged. So if this Bill 7 is in force, it will mean that judge to that court that I go to, he can just say, oh, after I make my submission, he can determine to say, no, this election was free and fair, and the election results remain. So the danger of that is fixing election. So this is indirectly fixing the election. In Article 103, the election is indirectly fixed because if the judge is the one who determines to say this election was rigged or this election was not rigged, it means that the president can appoint that judge and tell the judge. We know that the president is the appointing authority to the judiciary, you see. So this is one of the dangers of this Bill 7 in Article 103 for presidential petition. The court, the judges are given the power to determine a case. Another danger, dangers, undemocratic. So that is undemocratic. Giving power to a judge to determine a court case is undemocratic. Another undemocratic thing is, according to our constitution, government must be dissolved 90 days before election. So in this case, in April, they are supposed to dissolve government. But if Bill 7 passes, it means that government will not be dissolved, and they will dissolve government on the eve of the election. So all the ministers, deputy ministers, all these political appointees will stay in power until 11th August 2026. That is undemocratic. You want us to tell you the dangers of Bill 7. That is undemocratic. Also, they are removing the 2-term limit from mayors and chairperson. So this is like quid pro quo, something for something. Quid pro quo. So if you remove the term limit for the mayors and the council chairperson, the president will go to parliament and say, remove my term limit too. Since I've removed the term limit for mayors and the chairman, also remove my term limit. So this is like a bargaining chip for the president to remove term limits. In turn, he also wants, when this Bill 7 is in force, to remove his term limits. Again, in local government elections, if there is a dispute in Article 159 in the Constitution, they are giving power to the judges to determine cases. So this is undemocratic because all the judges that are serving now, they are appointed by the current president. So if anyone in the ruling party, Upnd, takes an opposition member for a court case regarding elections for this is mayor and local government, it will be automatic that that judge will rule in favor of the candidate of the ruling party. So these are the dangers of Bill 7. The list goes on and on, guys. The other danger is the proportional representation, where they are saying they will bring in 35 members of the marginalized communities, 35 members, which is 20 women, 12 youths, and 3 disabled. Well, that is actually manipulation, because according to the current constitution, there is in Article 45 of the Constitution, Article 45 1D gives gender equity in our Constitution. So if we follow gender equity, it means that our representation in Parliament has to be matched to the population. Since we are 50%, 51% women in Parliament, in the country, the population of Zambia is 51% in the country, and the population of youths is 70%, and the disabled, the population is just under 10%. So if we have proportional representation, we are not supposed to have less than 110 MPs for these marginalized groups. Yes. With the current numbers of 156, we are supposed to have not less than 110 MPs with the current constitution, if all these previous governments practice equity, gender equity in Parliament, but they have not. Now, this proportional representation, what they are bringing now, if they under gender equity, if they have 211 MPs, these marginalized groups, the women, youth, and disabled, the total number of MPs is supposed to have 182 members of these marginalized groups, which are women, youth, and disabled. But under this sham, the hoax of proportional representation, they are only going to guarantee 35 seats instead of 181. This proportional representation is a manipulation of figures where they are taking the majority and bringing in their, however they calculated those numbers. So they are manipulating the numbers to bring in 35 who are the majority and making them a minority. So this Bill 7 will actually manipulate numbers to make the majority in the Zambia population become a minority in parliament. Under this proportional representation, only 18% of the marginalized population will be in parliament instead of 86%, because 86% represents 51% of women, 70% of youths, and also 10% of the disabled. So that's the situation, guys. We are fighting for the soul of Zambia, literally. The soul of Zambia, we are fighting for it. Because you know what? Now, as we are speaking today, we woke up to lawyer Celestine Mukandila suing the entire parliament, starting from the speaker to the elected MPs and the nominated MPs. And the sad part is, you know what? We don't know where this country is going. I think we just, we just have to appeal to the judges. The judiciary will save Zambia, because again, we have heard that the Attorney General has gone to the Constitutional Court to try and repeal the earlier decision of June 25, where the Bill 7 was declared illegal, you know. So the Bill 7 was declared illegal, and the day before the Court announced that the Bill 7 declared illegal, the president withdrew Bill 7 in fear of being sued for treason, for introducing a treasonous bill. So Zambia, we are at the crossroads. This is so bad. We've never been in such a situation historically, where as a country, you know, parliament is supposed to be the place where we go to have solutions. But parliament now is become so compromised. Yes, parliament has become so compromised. And myself, I stopped supporting UPND. Immediately, I saw Nelly Muti being appointed as the Speaker of the National Assembly. When Nelly Muti was appointed the Speaker of the National Assembly, that's when I washed my hands off of UPND. Now, 4 years later, look at how much damage, look at what is going through in Parliament because of the leadership of Nelly Muti. We have been talking here day and night, saying that Nelly Muti will bring problems in Zambia. This is where we are. She has literally managed to deliver problems in Zambia because she has failed to hold that office professionally. Nelly Muti has been used to run parliament as a political cadre instead as a professional lawyer she is. Now look at where we are. How can we be in a country where everyone from the speaker to the appointed and elected and appointed MPs, they are being sued? Eh? It means the speaker has no direction. She has not been putting her foot down to stop these things in their tracks. Now things have gotten out of hand. Things have gotten out of hand, Mwebantu. The legislature is compromised. We would like to thank Lawyer Celestine Mukandila for taking this bold step to sue all these 172 people in that parliament, because they have failed. They have failed to do due diligence to the office they swore to serve. So katuishi fintoko fialaye. Pantu nomba kudiati yo, Concord should change their case from whatever they pingula dwa pingulule. Chalo chashan. What kind of a country is it? Where mwa pingulula. This is what happens when you are not following the laws of the land, but you are trying to please people. Me have been telling you here, you are going to plunge this country into chaos because you are not following the laws of the land. You are following the laws of a certain people. Now you want to go and fix it. You want to go and pingulula. Eh? You can't do that. Because every time you bend a law, something happened beyond what you thought. You have to go in and bend that law, you know. They are bending laws, and now they have to go and bend them another way. Constitutional Court said something. Now, because that whatever the Constitutional Court said is not helping them, they are now going to the Concord to make them rescind their decision, make a different judgment. Don't mess with the law. Bahaka indena ba UPND. The judges went to school for a reason. Do not put our judges more problem. You are putting our Zambian judiciary into a problem because you are controlling them. I've been telling you here that the judiciary in Zambia is compromised. Yes, the technical committee report has been set aside because they don't have time, because they are in a rush now. They are running around like a chicken without a head because that BILL7 has a lifespan of 6 months. And if they introduce that the technical report, if they introduce in parliament, it has to go through certain stages for it to even come before the first reading, including for it to be gazetted. You know, they don't have that time. So that's why the deferred bill because it already passed the second reading. It was deferred on the second reading. Eh? So they unshelved the deferred bill because that one it was already past all those stages. Even if the stages were illegal, it had passed them. But how can we have a parliament working on illegality? Baneli muti mukakakwa ndemye bafi. The way you are throwing your friends in opposition in jail. Na imwe netabaka mibere lyoruse baneli muti. Ifiti na imwe government yenu tamuleberera banenu uruse. Na imwe bene baneli muti nama judges bonse. Mweba lechita compromise law. When the chicken comes to roost, nobody will feel sorry for you. Eh? Tuwalelanda temairo tuwalelanda pano. Atama MPs unabadiamu. Elo kulina mambia bale ama MPs balelanda ati. You know. It's so real. This thing is so real. Some of you were doubting what we were saying here yesterday. What was being said yesterday was that some judges are saying you have to support my presidential candidate before we can reject BILL7. So now, if what we are saying here is false, how come all the members of parliament has been sued with Nelly Mut? Mama fatulelanda. Mule mwanaka? Na chiwa pali chair and and she said one thing which I've never heard, and it made so much sense. Chair said one thing which I have never heard, and it makes sense. And what Chair said was, you know, Chavinga has crossed the floor. He is in a parliament because of a PF ticket, but he clearly supports UPND. Why hasn't the speaker declared the seat ya kwa Chavinga vacant? Follow me correctly. Chavinga has crossed the floor. Alifuma ku PF kuria, clearly supporting the UPND. I am working with UPND. The president recognizes Chavinga as the president of PF. Now, in normal circumstances, according to our laws, Chavinga is supposed to be expelled from parliament, and then we should have by-elections so that we contest for that seat, and then Chavinga can stand on UPND if that is legal and win that Mafinga seat on UPND ticket. But the point I'm trying to say is, Chair said, whichever seat they have not declared by elections, it means they are working with them. So ngamwalolesha ama seat yonse kulyo kwa kubati walikana okubomba na bena, those seats have been declared vacant and there have been by elections. This is the thing. All the seats in parliament where these MPs have refused to work with the ruling party, they have been declared vacant. Latest ni seat ya kwa Tasila. Have you asked yourself why? They declared it vacant even knowing that maybe there won't even be elections, because in Shita na ichepa. The constitution says you can't have elections for a parliamentary seat 180 days before election. And Kushere Kenshiku, we are within the window to that 180 days. So why spend all this money and harabalu? Is just to eliminate Tasila from parliament and remove her voting power. They did that to Munia Zulu, Boman Lusambo, Kwacha constituency, all those 2 seats in Wapula, Kawambwa, JJ Banda. And now this seat for Petauke, that is a question mark. The former seat for JJ Banda, it is a question mark, because I was on JJ Banda's live and somebody called in to ask, to say the person there is compromised, and JJ Banda didn't have anything to say. But that new member of NCP, there is also a question mark. Coming to this issue of these 13 MPs. So actually, I have heard that Kanshi nama 3 million tababa lipira. Maumfa. Kanshi da 3 million ni promissory note. Baba promise afye. Tuwalimano pano tulebe bama MPs ukwebati. Mwaile ku parliament kuria. To make laws for Zambia, to fight for your people. Your people are the one who voted you to go to parliament. It's not Hakainde or whoever who gave you the power. The power is the power of the electorate. You MPs, don't forget. Dear MPs, don't forget the power that you have. The money that you are getting, the allowances, the gratuities, it's because the people trusted you and gave you that vote to go into parliament. It's not Hakainde. Now, if you vote for this BILL7, you are voting to take away the power from the voters to put you in, to put MPs in power. If you can chitika BILL7 ingayaisa, the MPs will be elected by the political party. And what is happening in like, because this BILL7 is from Uganda, ku Uganda fichitika, ama MPs won't say, they are handpicked by their presidents. And all the opposition in Uganda, they work with the ruling party. So na Zambia, so if you are chitika, ama opposition won't say, wakula bombana ruling party. Fiafi never smumba, bare bombana ruling party. Chavinga over because a stooge works with the ruling party. That's why there's this big fight between PF to kill the original PF who was the people. Mwamona. Because when they kill the original PF without the people won't matter. What will matter is the person who is saying is the president. Is the one who has the power. This is what BILL7 will bring. BILL7 ingayaisa, you voters will become irrelevant. Who will be relevant is that person, the president. And the president of your party, like Nevas Mumba or Chavinga, will be working with the government. So nanguna mkwatama MPs badatabaka kwate nchito. Because Chavinga ukalasa lama MPs abakwiminina. But Nevas Mumba bakalasa lama MPs bakwiminina. Elo, there will be no by-election. That's another danger of this BILL7. For some reason, umuntu by-election, ngakwaba by-election, bale funya kwama by-election. For some reason, if a seat becomes vacant, there will be no more by-election. The political party will be choosing whom to replace that MP in whatever constituency. That is the danger. So, BILL7, in short, kuma voters, is taking power from the voters to the president of these parties who are actually stooges of this UPND. This is the plan. It's already happening. So this is the last piece to finish off what they have started. Everything is in place. But Nevas Mumba is in his pocket. Chavinga wakwatama paper la wakusaina pali pama adoption certificate ya kuICZ is already in the pocket. Mwamona. So, this is their last mingalato. This is the last thing they need to do to seal everything so that they grab power from the people of Zambia to them, to UPND. This is the last fight. That's why they fight Yamanoseka. This BILL7 should not pass. Because everything nabatantika kali, nabatantika bena Zambia. Everything is already in motion. This BILL7 is the thing that is going to seal the dictatorship of Hakainde Hichilema to make Zambia into a Uganda, into a one-party state, to make Hakainde Hichilema into Wamuyaya president. It is this BILL7. Because everything has already been, is working. Parliament, but controller, judiciary. Now the test is with the judiciary. This is the main test. The last bit now is the judiciary to save Zambia from the bill to pass. This is the last bit. It's the final straw. The final straw is, will the judiciary and bapingulule bushaba judiciary bala pingulule fe bapingwire bali pingwire fe muri bwino bali pingula muri bwino ba judiciary. So nomba naba be mino kwe bachi bapingulule so that BILL7 ili yaipite. BILL7 inga yapita, we are finished mwebena Zambia. This is the last straw. Everything has been sealed. Mumone for a lawyer Celestine Mukandila to sue everyone in the parliament. It means the whole parliament is compromised. It is taken. And it is really a shame. It is really a shame. But that's when you can come in.
Thank you, Queen Puma. Today, I was so shocked. And, you know, those who are doubting that this BILL7 is about HH and his people, he was addressing people, talking about BILL7 to say, if we don't push this BILL7, some of you will lose seats. You will not be there. Then I said, this man, this BILL7 is all about him.
Yes, yeah. Including him. Including him, he will lose his seat.
It's all about him trying to hang up to power. And if you people think, oh, BILL7 is not what you guys are talking about, if you allow BILL7 to pass, trust me, you and me we will not even have a Zambia to talk about Queen Pumi. This man is so dangerous that he will do anything to keep him in power and his people. Like when I was listening to him saying, some of you MPs, and I'm thinking like, Mr. President, the Constitution has never been about an individual. The Constitution is about the Zambian people. It's like, a Constitution is like a Bible for a country where people can go and see, okay, is this how we solve this problem? But if you make it about yourself, Mr. President, then you don't have love for Zambia. It's all about yourself. Sometimes we try to give you a benefit of doubt, but I think people who even trust you and listen to you, I think they should stop it. Because this man does not mean well for us. It's all about him. It's all about what I'm going to do. It's about Imingal. Just like you are saying, he started this battle. He knew what he's going to do. Oh, he's going to pick people like that. Zambia shall be savaged man. Or people like even a mouse sample. Shame on him. He's the one who created.
Used and dumped. Where is he today? By mouse sample.
Yes. And then there are some certain fools, and sorry to forgive my French, but when you lose your integrity and you allow a man to use you, then you have no standard of yourself. You are ashamed to yourself. First and foremost, yes, you can have someone to listen to, but do not let someone use you. Then you become foolish. Those people are being used. People, ask yourself, is this what you're going to be remembered? Because for me, I've just seen that this man, this BILL7 is actually wasting our money to push an agenda that only suits him. And he needs to be sued for that. He needs to be sued because this agenda is about him. It's got nothing to do with Zambia. It's about him. And Queen Pumi, what you're saying is true. We need to ask ourselves, even the MPs who think that, no, we are okay with this. You've got a Zambia that, if you truly love Zambia, and you're a Zambian, you're one Zambia, one nation, BILL7 is something that we should not even accommodate. It's something that it belongs in the garbage. And it should never even be tabled or never even be something that we should even be wasting our time on. There are so many things that Zambia needs to look at. We are a country that has got minerals. We are a country that has got so many natural resources. Why can't you use that energy that you are wasting on BILL7 to find a roadmap of saying, okay, in the next 5 years, we want our country to stop borrowing money from International Monetary Fund or from the World Bank. But if you're going to waste more money on BILL7 because it suits your agenda, shame on you. Thank you, Queen Pumi, and God bless you. I was listening to you, but I just said, no, let me just contribute to one or two things. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Madassin. So we are here, guys, and I think we have reached the end of the road in this journey. This is the final act, and we are calling it a final. Myself personally, I think it has just dawned on me that UPND, they are not real people. They have put up a show, and the show started for them. In campaigning, they put up a show with all these lies. They won an election on lies and propaganda. And now they have been ruling a country on lies of propaganda. And part of their propaganda is they have been doing all these crazy things to ensure that they retain their power. Now, if you look closely, everything that has been happening is a recipe to create this BILL7. And anybody who has tried to come in the process, they have been bumped off. Literally, people have died. Nawakwi has died. Where is Balungu? All these people are no more. Where is JJ? Where is it Chilufya Tayali? Although Chilufya Tayali's story is different.
What I would also just advise, I love the audio that you played before Bakatebe. She is advising, and that was a good advice. Yes, all political leaders, there's only one seat. You cannot all just have that power angle for our president. among ourselves, choose one that is going to spearhead. For now, that advice from Bakateve, Beauty Kateve, or the opposition leaders, that was a good call. We've been saying this so many times to the opposition leaders. We won't say, yes, you mule for Kuaba president, but if you are going to be selfish and thinking that, no, I can be a leader, but it's our partner, na following, for now. I know even Queen Pum wants to be the president for 2030, 31, but for now she has given up to say, no, I don't have time. I'll rally behind someone who is going to drive the agenda. That call from Beauty Katebe, the opposition, listen to that. This is no time for us to be paying Mingalat because Uyumuntu, sorry to say this, he wants to be a dictator and we won't allow that. Thank you, Queen Pum.
Thank you so much. So, yeah. Welcome, Basij, Vascals, Beatrice. I just want to talk a little bit about these MPs. Before Vascals, you can come in. This whole thing about Wamundu Bide, who is the leader of opposition in parliament, and he is running to be a president, but then he has failed to actually be an opposition. Because let's be honest here, this is what I'm going to call a spade a spade. Let's have a difficult conversation. If Wamundu was really in opposition, did we have to reach a situation where all the members of parliament are taken to court, are sued, including the speaker? Bamundu Bide, if he was really an opposition leader, if he was doing his due diligence, Bamundu Bide, as the leader of opposition in parliament, would he have been included in that lawsuit? This is where people are saying this parliament is the most compromised parliament and ineffective parliament in the history of Zambian parliament. Because if they were effective, we wouldn't be here talking about the Speaker of Assembly being among those sued, including the Speaker and the leader, you know. At least in Ngawachitafe sue those people who are pushing for Bill 7, you know. The few rogue MPs, if those were the ones who would have been on the lawsuit, who could have been okay, at least. But then we have a leader of opposition in parliament who is on a lawsuit for impunity in parliament. And then Wamundu Bide wants to become president of Zambia, Mwebena Zambia. Like, are we serious? Vascals, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity, Queen Mpome. Just want to contribute on the BILL7, which is so very disturbing to our country, because it leaves much to be desired in this country, the way the leadership is just coming out, pushing an agenda that the majority Zambians have said no. The thing is, I think our leaders lack integrity in the first place. Because if that bill was rejected in the preamble, because the entire process was a fraud, based on the judgments that was given out in Monia and Celestine. So I've been thinking, why should the MPs go and vote for that, which is an illegal thing?
They carry on business as usual, on an illegal law. Eh?
On what basis? I've been thinking, is there integrity in our leaders? Whoever who is opposing that bill, they shouldn't even participate in that nonsense.
It's a fraud, yes. It's all a fraud.
So what should they be going to parliament and say they need to vote?
I know. Voting over a fraud?
Over a fraud thing?
They are all treasoners. I know now. You are going to insult us blue black. But Pashinka Pena will stand on the truth.
Madam President.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kai, my own jalo suit. Maybe no, I don't want. My own jalo suit. Jalo suit. Mwenye ankaja Madam President. Chaswanga chitepo chesa elect. Wamele wafunga cheku swingi. Wasuwingi wa ali wasuwinga muntu aliyense mjam parliament. Wamena ashta entertain. Ija bill kubwele parliament. Wamena inashtiwa. Wamena inakaniwa ku constitution court. So no wonder wasuwinga wambila ma crack of National Assembly wana tempolinga wamena ija bill. Meaning aliens in parliament. Pajasemezwa chitabu chau support Brian Munduvile bamcho sapo uyaenda huku asemesi vinapange sense wasuinga che aliens wamena mapeska parliament wamena chitache entertain bill kunkala parliament. So Brian Munduvile alipepa problem million sanga ile osanga chite bwanji aliens that's why bapaka na members of parliament wali 156 plus nominated ones. Fakana kumwezi na makraks of National Assembly. So swanga shitepo exclude Brian Munduvile whereby bashita sue ma members of parliament wonse waje. Then izaoneka bwanji wakashitapo exclude Brian Munduvile. Baswinga aliens wamene ashita tolerate ja bill kunkala parliament. Kwambira ma speakers, ma clerks of National Assembly, kumwezi na manani kane na ma members of parliament wonse. So Brian Munduvile swanga mchosepo kai baswinga wonse. Chizaoneka bwanji wakamchosapo.
Okay.
I think that's a very good observation. Yes, they pushed in that court issue, and then they've sued everyone in there. But again, why should we be entertaining the nonsense in the first place?
Why should we even reach such a situation, Mwamona? Why do we even have to reach a situation here, Kuti? Everyone is being sued.
That's why I want to say Celestine Kandira in the Constitution Court. When this bill is unconstitutional. No one abwera manage a Constitution Court. This bill is unconstitutional. In actually abrogate almost 11 clauses of Constitution ya Zambia. Mwambia so that wamene translate to the Constitution. Wamene itantauza, wamene ifuna, wamene sifuna. No one ibweza kuja. Mulakambati Africa kwenda kuli wider consultation na kwenda kulemba mu bill inangu. But yaneja bill amene inakaniwa it's null and void. Bill imoza imo Celestina Mkandira ndi Munia Zulu ndiye amene opeleka mu parliament kwenda tebolinga bill yamene inakana court. No wonder Celestine aenda kuwagulia contempt of court wonzo anwaishita tolerate. Must understand man.
Yes, I understand. I understand the form Mwalanda, but we are just saying to say we have a West we have a West set of parliamentarians in history. You see what I'm saying? To let you comment in that total idea, I'm thanking Councillor Celestine Mukandila Tulipama Kufi. We appreciate him for everything he has done for the country, and the history shall remember him. But my point is, we are at the worst in terms of the caliber of National Assembly and the caliber of MPs. We are at the worst in a country. Because if this, the speaker, for example, was following the rules professionally, this would not have happened. The worst culprit is the speaker.
Madam President, muza bala pesa program, Madam President. Onani, awa wantu wezofuna oti wamenye shortcut Germany ngi swatu washitebwanji wapitse BILL7. Swana ilangane ango ijamene enzo langana Celestine Mkandira wamene anasuwinga pa first Celestine Mkandira. Ndio wamene enzo likuziwa ija bill. So bevi wanapo wapanga chata kaili wakamba tiende kushita out consultation. Ndio manje kungenesa mundalama kwende shita vinipa fast. Waiba anati bill wamene wanapaka parliament ija. Ni bill imozi yamene inakaniwa Constitution Court. So in the Celestine Mkandira that day Madam President iliko tetezo kamisa nae. Ananuza njewele swazi wa wantu atina wamenya kaliba ko ipa. Mbekeza utifike kufaino kwele kucha. Then I'm going to sue them. Celestine anapo ya news. Waona. Because why is our suing? Because watenga bill imozi ndiye wafuna kubweza kuti. Yamene wendo kubweza ku court. Waona.
There is a desperation, Mwamona. This UPND government of Hakainde Chilema is willing to pass this bill through any method, hook and crook. These are hook and crook methods. You are willing to do anything and everything. and they think we Zambians, we don't know the law. Maybe once the people who can actually do something, it's like small people like Celestine Mukandila who are bringing this empire down because they have put everybody else in their pocket and they think that nobody else will challenge them. But it is small people who are nobodies, but they are somebodies in the eyes of God. They are somebodies in the eyes of defending Zambia. Like here we are seen like as nobodies, you know. I was in a meeting today where we are told like we are making noise on TikTok, we are nobodies. We don't even have, we don't have a big gathering. But you know what I answered? I'm like, yes. Dynamite comes in small packages. If you look at a snowball, for yamba, snowball yamba fiaka no sheka yamba ka snow, but oko ile amkupira chala be chikuruchi snowball no kutobo mushi. So don't underestimate people. Kutu wako at a page with millions of followers and you can just be preaching rhetoric and no content, no substance. But we are few here, but we do, is changing. Changing the path of holding leaders accountable. Like Celestine Mukandla was underestimated. And Munia Zulu. Mwamona. Meanwhile, we have big-time lawyers with their accolades. Degree, credentials. What have they done? What have they done in this fight against Bill 7, even just against this corrupt government? We are here crying every day. Why are you all quiet for Tulelanda? I am tired, but I have just to do it. Because where I've come from is far. Where I'm going now with people. So we are fighting this fight until this Bill 7 falls. We are going to hold the judiciary to do the right thing. Thank you, the judiciary, for declaring this Bill 7 illegal. Now they are after the Bill 7 to undo. But judiciary, if you want to die, if we pali Zambian law, over 21 million laws, muka pingulule. Because some of this is beyond God. Who even knew that this Concord court, who was appointed to declare ECL ineligible, can come and declare their Bill 7 illegal? Who knew that? If it's not God, we want to bakwalesa. Tulamyema tileseko abalo panama people. When they had to change the composition of that Concord, anyone who was against declaring Lungu ineligible was dropped, and that Concord was staffed with the people who would rule Edgar Lungu ineligible. But guess what? Then came an issue. The same Concord which HH appointed declared his Bill 7 illegal. So now there is a problem. Kuriama problems kuria ku constitutional court. So is the president now going to change the constitution of the Concord to appoint judges who are going to overturn? So Muzambe chikala bafe pingulule. Is this where we are heading to as a country? I am waiting to see what will happen tomorrow. I am really waiting. And this is all on the back of the judiciary. But judiciary ni mo mwema kaleka Zambia bakoche. Ngabakula mitea kwati ni game. You want to be gambling with Zambian lives? We already lost Balungu. Bibalungu, we lost Lungu because of you by Concord. You are a direct cause. Kumfa ya Balungu. And I hope that one day when this UPND government leaves the corridors of power, we are going to have a commission of inquiry to look into the people who directly caused Lungu to die, and they will be held accountable for it. We shall hold them accountable for directly causing Lungu to die through their decisions which they made, and Concord is one of them. I end there. But season, Sasha season, you can come in.
Thank you, Queen Kumi. How's everyone on the panel? Yeah, we are back at it again.
Mwandi hakuna kulala. Tatualale pali BILL7 pena. Because this is the final piece to complete the puzzle. Chionse bali teanya fye. Bali teanya. They are running around like chickens without a head.
Yeah. So, yeah, as usual, we just have to talk to the people who are right now responsible to get us out of this or to drag us into the mud even more because we're already in the mud. So are the judges going to go back on their ruling or are they going to stick with that? They know the right thing. But a problem to people. Nabe Shibabantu who's calling the shots. Because for the Attorney General to go back to the Constitutional Court to try and tell them to say you have to reverse the decision which you already made, which was the right decision, because we know they are bringing up something which is illegal. So how would a person, a normal thinking person, even go back to ask people to go and overturn a ruling which was made, which was right? Are we just saying our country now has no direction? Like one person is just going to be getting away with whatever he's doing just because of one person. We are going to just be seeing these things that we are seeing. So, but judiciary, please, we are begging with you. Can you for once do the right thing? You stick to the ruling. But at least do one thing right for the Zambians. Because this is what we need. And I'm so disappointed. I don't know what's going on, like the Law Association, because it seems they are leaving everything to one person. Celestine Mukandila is trying. He's doing like the utmost he can do. But it would be helpful if we see at least a number of them, lawyers, going behind and like being with him in this fight.
I know, he's putting his life
hard
on the line. No signature imofi. Ema lawyers ababa Muzambia weka ni Celestine weka. One signature on that petition. One Celestine Mukandila. You have no shame.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. You can't leave one person to do this. This is for the nation.
God will protect him. At least he did it. Let's just thank him.
Yeah. So can we have more people doing this? You do all those things. Then you want people to come and trample on you and tell you make a decision which is according to the law because you are following the law. You make a decision, then people should come and tell you, no, go back on your word. Is that what you want? Is that why you went to West? Did you just go to West Time at school for people to come and tell you what to do when you know you're doing the right thing? Just do what you have to do. We can't have one person ruling us in a bad direction. It's not going to be a country anymore. We know how dictators do things. He's not even a dictator yet, but just look at the things that are taking place in our nation. Look at what is happening.
He's a dictator, Mama.
This one.
People are being jailed 1 year and 6 months for hate speech. Zimbabwe. If you've seen the breaking news, there is a mayor of Zimbabwe who has actually taken on HH and told him to repeal the cyber law. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because just like he had said, when you become president, how many presidents have we seen? Not even things that but they just leave people like that because you can't manage. Are you going to manage
Zambia?
That's not how you rule. So, judiciary, please, right now we're begging you. just do the right thing. Stick to the original ruling, which is right, not which was right, which is just the way it should be. So the Attorney General has no right to even come and intimidate you to do the wrong thing.
Vakavesha mwandini vakavesha Zambia tete abanyini nu vakavesha. This is not hate speech. Attorney General sa vakavesha mwachusha abantu. Ala awe ne vakavesha reason tatuashika na balungu. Instead of concentrating on load shedding abantu bali mumfifi so. People are in darkness. Where is Kavesha in all this? Balungu kota tuashika na number 5 months today. Tomorrow 6 months lungu is waiting to be buried. And very busy pinya pari BILL7. Is that what is more important to Zambia? They have no shame, these people.
So many issues.
They have no shame.
They even get money to waste on the technical committee.
Imagine it. No, kwisachi post after one post MPA. No, lipia nama farmers. So they took the farmers' money. So basendere MPA shama farmer bapera chi technical committee bale bapera ma cash money. Imomwe bantola mukaya pia kwa resa. May God deal with you. May God deal with you. All these people about the technical committee, they are already working, they have an income. You know, but then people are you are diverting funds. Hello, Mabuga. Yeah, kuli line. So, Basasha mwana mupuisha. Okay, by yours truly is next. By yours truly is next. Kuli line Mabuga. Kuli line tata. Kuli na totela mkwai. Kuli line, yes. Na muishiba lolele ni muichita hijack nani kani yesu. I'm gonna drop Mabuga because when you come on a platform you have to follow the rules. Tualikuwa tama rules pano kwali balaini. So lolele ni Mabuga na lamireta not muchite overtake abantu. By yours truly you are next. Thank you. Tatuishile mkulanda pa my ideas pano. Tuishile mkulanda pari BILL7. Eri ashiriripo. Ati wushu kuinsofu ifuire. Diansofu di bapo. Tetule nanda pa my ideas pano. When nomba balefo kusende chalo. Yo? They want to take each other. Mumano bachisende. Everything is set. This is the final thing they are supposed to do. To capture this country until 2090. Year 2090 bapunda. This is the final piece. BILL7 ingabaya feba ibotela tu nishni 2090. Because everything has been set already. Go ahead by yours truly. So we are not going to start here and talk about Yamalaiti when Mwanifiru later Malaiti. Tulanda pari BILL7 and appealing to all MPs to vote this out and the judges to stand your ground and do book of law. Do what you started kuma skulu. Don't do what you muntu if you are able to pingula after mapoka brown envelope. God will punish you. Go ahead by yours truly. We are sick and tired of these people.
It's gone beyond my ideas or whatever, my ideas. This is kind of a critical point, and that's all. We're actually going to put our council in a lot of prayers because it's like a man, one army. And I think it's also an appeal to our opposition leaders to really stand up for the people because all they are doing is nothing. But and yet this is one of the critical points where they should stand up for the people and show their power that they are actually capable of doing what they are supposed to do. Unfortunately, with how it is right now, we cannot always just be waiting on the councils to come and help us. This is part of the opposition checks and balances. So they should also wise up and start looking at. Otherwise, it's just kind of getting all chaotic and there's only so much that one person can handle, and I'm sure he's going through a lot of threats in the good that he's done for the country. Otherwise, tulipama kwewa pamoja family so tulipirikita na ka oven keso kamala shake ko tupange ko tumakwewa. That's basically all I can submit, madam. Thank you so much for the platform, and I'm still here, only that I can't contribute major. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Otherwise, thank you for sacrificing. I know it's not easy. I'm a light takuli but if you in fact, na load shedding it's deliberate, because when they catch power, they are cutting your communication. So you people, you have to do extra. It's not if you to wabuka pe wayasha TV like I have how many gadgets and therefore news kuya ku TV na yapa laptop na yapa computer na we have so, but you Zambia is deliberate. If chitika ku Congo aba kwatama light ni ba finondo every day is Zambia. I am telling you, BILL7 yapita, they'll just switch off the power to the entire country, and only the rich people who have power abakala kwatama genseti na masola. Mark my words. If they can keep you on 2 hours of power, what is going to happen when you have the because BILL7 ikafunyama kakubantu kupera mundi ba president na UPND party. This is the seriousness of this thing. That's why Chabinga bali muchinja machine na kudia ku ECZ machine yabako. So that's why itakuwa no akwati kuchaimi ina pali PF ticket, because Chabinga afiro sign a pali adoption paper ila PF mwamona. So in muma no baleta control the entire opposition. They are literally killed the opposition. But MMD was supposed to be a big opposition, but he's supporting them, and PF is supporting them. So mumano na baipa ya opposition, and this BILL7 is the last key to actually deliver this 2070 formula. That's why we are here to tell you the judiciary na papata. But Dotty, the floor is yours. Tatualale and tuala paper.
Thank you very much. Ndipo shabonse abalipa platform emkwai ushiko esofuifile neri ashiria nsofu. Inekuti nalanda kofe face na like atapari parliament ibatwele concord. It is timely. The 156 members of parliament were elected by the Zambian people, whom should be represented Munganda. The interests of the Zambians who put them, who elected for the 156 MPs. So bafile barosha ama interests of those people that put them in office. Shirelanda palia wawa nominated. Onga to alolesha parliament faidi. Nefchitika parliament tulachita follow parliament. Tulamone nefchitika modia. And it's just timely because the MPs are not supposed to represent the interests of one single person, but to represent the interests of the masses. But elect. There were 8 nominated. We're talking about 156. So this litigation, for me, is timely, is at the right time. And my expectations were the reintroduction of BILL7. My expectations were for those MPs that were against to walk out of parliament to show that they are not supporting us, but supporting it. But not one. So that we're not trusting them. Because to protest, they should have walked out.
Exactly.
Whether opposition, whether ruling party, they should have walked out.
Because by Gosti Bachilaland that they have to sue everybody. Okay, if the MPs walked out, then we would not have reached in a situation where the whole parliament is sued. Mamona.
Exactly.
So it's like the whole parliament is in agreement for an illegal bill. The argument here actually about Ghost. 9 point mwaleta imwe baba Dotty. La bwekeshe nipo na futi.
Nalanda nati. My expectation was the members of parliament, since the 156, I'm not talking about the 8 nominated, no. I'm talking about those that were elected by the people in their constituencies, the 156 constituencies, whether in opposition, whether in ruling party. My expectation was if they really rejected Bill 7, they should have walked out of parliament.
Point.
Once that bill was reintroduced in parliament, because they all know, they are lawmakers, they knew that bill was illegal.
Illegal.
Reintroduced in the house, because there was a ruling Kukon court. There was a ruling Kukon court. So for it to have been reintroduced, it was illegal, and my expectation was for those members of parliament to walk out of parliament, and we were going to believe and understand and trust them that they really stand for the people. But apafiri, we don't trust them. We don't trust them if they elect into those offices as members of parliament. We don't trust them. Here second nala ikata yaba beauty katebe appeal to the opposition. It has come timely, and the usha kwatama twiteti onfwe. Mwalishiba umunwe umo tausalenda. Kulefaika ukuikatana. Because the Lulubuli olo David akwetena Goliath. Takwadi ati ine na lamtowele ediwe from this side. Uyuna yenaima. David aimineka to fight the giant.
Every minute Celestine ya papen. You know? Isn't this the same example of Celestine? Where all these seasoned lawyers are sitting quiet. Aye, Momwanch.
Aye, Maeka. To fight the Goliath. The spiritual Goliath in this country. Because what it is the H.D.H.M.Tindanda Podionse Daniel chapter 4. Spiritually, so what we should be comforted is God is the God of this nation, and He's a covenant keeping God. As long as Tuadquata covenant nalesa, when this nation was declared a Christian nation, that tree will be cut. How? I don't know, but it will be cut. That's why Imingalato are being exposed in plain sight, bare sight. Every eye is seeing. So for the opposition to feel it watch the rally behind one leader, they in fighting your to halfway, because what it is Upnd persecution will even be worse than what it is today. So it's better we rally again behind that person. Because when you look at the 1991 elections, Mahaliama big giants, FTJ, Tabale, Monica Pono, Monica Pato, Vangasal. But last year, we a trade unionist. I think we all know to be kept one rally behind him. Because it was not easy to unseat KK, the mighty KK. KK, Punch, Kumulu, Lesa. So it wasn't easy. They rallied the multi-party democracy. They rallied behind one leader. So in our opposition, all of you can't be in State House. Ama qualities are quite. Or we rally behind. We are in a leader. Because you know when you rally behind one leader, na rigging you can't rig.
No vote splitting. I'm a vote kuikatana kabiri. I'm a vote kuikatana. The votes will be intact.
Amen. So kuikatana. You can share parliamentary seats. Mwashwa tusheni party she is strong. Okuku area. But for the president, let's rally behind one person. Together we stand. Divided we fall. Together we stand. divided we fall.
Thank you, Badoti. Moalet, a very important point which you have brought out. This is Ebusuma Wakpanda na mano. I don't know it all. Nobody knows it all. But if you think twice, an important point which has been revealed, it is good the entire parliament has been sued because the opposition, if they rejected this Bill 7, they would have walked out when that bill was reintroduced. So the fact that the MPs sat in there and entertained an illegal bill to be reintroduced, then they were meaning they are willing to vote it into law. So this is the most compromised judiciary in the history of Zambia. And the sad thing is we have many lawyers with high profiles. They are quiet on this matter. But God has raised a young man, Celestine Mukandira, who is submitted that court of contempt, contempt of court to the Concord regarding these 172 people in the Zambian parliament. Now, the other thing which people need to know is that there is this thing, if you are first past the post, and with this delimitation, which is private, we must know that the delimitation report is private. By ECZ, they don't even know which constituencies are going to be delimited. Mwelena Zambia, how can it happen that we are going to an election? ECZ, who's running the elections, don't know the constituencies which are going to be delimited. That is something to think about. So if this Bill 7 passes, which means which constituency to be delimited. Because if it's not on paper, then it means he will just delimit constituencies he needs where there are two popular candidates, then he will split it. This is what it means. Because if he was going to delimit these constituencies according to the population or the density in constituencies, it is automatic. We are going to delimit in Lusaka because in Lusaka we only have 12 constituencies with 3 million versus where like in Southern Province they have 19 constituencies with the 2.2 million people. So it's only logical we delimit in Lusaka and Copper Belt with the high density in population, but that is secret. So it means delimitation where HH wakala chitafye oko babuka bamonanti okuli abade fire kusiti mo kuli gari nkombona chite okay, let's delimit that. By akunani nko kusesheke kuli nani kanina nwana nani kane, let's delimit that. Efika chitikaka bajak mwimbu kulia badi basana mu party 25 years tubafunyepo, so 10 to chiputurechi constituency chabo, you know. So this is the deal. But P. Simon, the floor is yours. Good evening, Balari, not Quarterline. So, Balari, you are next. But Mwandini, we are praying for the judges to do the right thing. And the shame on the Zambian parliament, really. It is a shame. Vanelli Muti, what a legacy. What a legacy. Mwafi kafi, mwafi atishani. Mwafi kasaba niya.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam President, and once about the Papani and I'm Posha. Good evening, good morning, depending on where you are. I think, Madam President, looking at what is happening today, I now understand why Upnd captured peace and imposed a leader through an illegal channel, an illegal process. First of all, they allowed Mao Samba to do an illegal convention when they fully understood how the procedure is of how each and every political party chooses its own president when Walungu retired from active politics. We also saw that they started testing waters to see if they can get away with any illegality that they can apply to achieve whatever they want to achieve. And they did it because courts, the judiciary and everything is being compromised. Akainde aliweka kwa abantu bakobwachita dictate of fire, alawachita command to do whatever they want to do. So now, why did he capture PF and he installed, allowed Sampa to become president? But when Sampa got back to his senses, he reconciled with Balungu and the PF team. But again, they grabbed it and gave it to Chavinga to destroy the name PF and the party itself and to hold on to the papers. They did this because they had a script that they are going to come up with a bill called BILL7. And this BILL7 has got that article which talks about proportional representation, where people will no longer vote for their candidates, but they'll vote for political parties. And then political parties will now choose.
That is a first past the post. Yomulela and Daponi first past the post.
Okay, thank you.
It's called the first past the post. Yomulela and Dapo, not proportional representation. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. I may maybe use a wrong term, but what I'm trying to explain is actually connected to their plans.
Yes.
So their plan is they don't want the Zambian people to vote for candidates. So Zambian people should vote for political party. Now it makes sense why they have killed PF, because they don't want PF to be there. They don't want people to vote for PF. Okay? So they have killed also other bigger political party like yours, Madam. Also NDC has been tampered with. And we still see that these other political parties that are a bit stronger are also likely to be tempered. Okay? So now, after they successfully did that, they thought they are going to get away with this BILL7. Again, they use illegal procedure to come up with a bill secretly, just like they did on the cyber law, without informing the Zambian people, without notifying us what is in the law, and notifying us that they are signing the law. These guys are not good. Akainde Ichilem and the team are bad leaders. Actually, they are also bad people. Because if you love your own country, how could you surely put yourself in such a manner, the way he's running things? And he claims to love Zambia, he claims to love us, and then he says we don't love him. In the actual sense, Akainde Ichilem is the one who doesn't love us. Okay? This kind of leadership is not good. He should not have actually tempered to come into power if this is the intention he had. Zambia is too big for him to just come in and destroy the country. We have so many future generations to come. But he feels like he's the only person who is the last person to live in the country. After him, there will be nobody. A leader should not be like that. A leader should have always plans for the future, should always think about other people. Look at how Bakawunda was thinking about the future generations. He saved our minerals to say the future generation, after 200 years, they will come and use this for a better Zambia. He made sure he guided all the things for the people of Zambia, for the benefit of the Zambians. But when he came in power, he just wanted to use Zambia like his own personal thing, his own source of business, which is not okay. 2, we should not allow this BILL7 to go through, because we do not know exactly what other laws they are planning to put in there. Look at what they did to the cyber law. We didn't know what they were going to put in there, and secretly they passed it. So do we really understand everything that is in that BILL7? Once it goes through, they are likely to fuse in something within 24 hours. The thing that would maybe say, we will never have elections, not until Akainde decides. Who is going to dispute when the bill has been passed? We should never ever trust this government, and whatever they are trying to bring, especially an illegal thing like this one, should never be tolerated. All the learned lawyers, please. Avena John Sangwa, where are they? Why should they keep quiet when the country is being destroyed? They studied the law. Their job has come. Let them come in, apply the law and their knowledge to fight against the injustice from the Republican president and his team. The parliament is completely finished. The worst parliament that Zambia has ever had. I don't think we will. I don't know where these people stand, what their motive is. And what will they benefit after destroying the whole country? It's a shame having this kind of leadership, madam. So I think I would like to remind all the MPs, all those that mean well for this country, please, for the sake of our future generation, say no to Bill 7. Vote against this bill. There's nothing that you are going to lose for voting against this bill. You vote for it, it passes, you destroy your own country, your own children, your own future generation to come. And you will remain in bad books. You will never be considered like the Kapwepwes and the Kaundas and the Chilubas who fought for good cause. We will always remember them to be bad people who destroyed our democracy and the peace in our country. So, with these few words, Madam Wandini, even people from the neighboring countries are laughing at us. I have a friend from Zimbabwe who was telling me why are you allowing your president to make Zambia like Zimbabwe?
Imagine.
Do all these things. Because once Zambia become like Zimbabwe, we will have no place to run to. But today we have hope in Zambia. But if Zambia becomes like us, where we have no say to the government, then we are all doomed. Takuri yoko tukabutukira. Kabiri apanomba ku Tanzania na mumona. We can't run to Tanzania. Ero ku Malawi takwabe fyabako. You know? Malawi is a very poor country. Takuri ifiri. I don't know. Tukalabu tukira ku Zimbabwe, ku Botswana. I think Botswana and Namibia are the two countries we can go to. Moise Niba Belawela, the floor is yours, my darling.
Thanks, darling. Good evening, everyone. I don't know. Gachakwebati Kuriamashiwi. Ayengalandu ayasuma. I remember Kunuma. What the statement Papa Ingleya Kwebati. I wish Kutimo Esulum Timawandi. You would see the love. Kunuma again. Kwa di po mashiwe. Weba mwana wasabade mbele. Ukuya plemba mwibu. Amashiwe balantile ba mwana wasa ya Kwebati. Uyu muntu alikwata ububi. You know, Queen Pumi, kwadi ba mashiwe ningalanda. Abantu wakalanda fyataho bela alikwata problem. Kulina yambi amashiwe ningalanda. Ayakubati nabana benu, baisa mukuya belenga. Chaisa mukuba shinina. Whether ayasuma, whether ayabi. Bengyabana bati wabadi shama. Winpumi tapari ofoba lufiani. Not that abana badi lufiani apochiri chonzi. Umula ndufye basangwa nawo yakuitwa abana. Mfufundelanda. Shirelanda ati badi chite chibi. Badi bocho badi chite cho abana butaba. Problem bakwata yakuita ukuitwa abana chite. Bamwana chite. Badi tipo. We hear those words. We hear them. But understanding, we don't understand. This is why Apostle Paul I pray for you. Ever since the day I heard of it, that you are saved. Quimpomi, you know what it is. You are here every day. Now, for somebody to say, ever since I heard of it, I pray that you may have power to understand. In other words, Apostle Paul pepela abana bakumupashi kwebati ndepepa ninji shoko muleya bati ipepo mpepa yakwebati mukose mukwati shamaka namaka ayakuchita understand chile tusambirishe chintu chino ukutontonkanya chisenda amaka ukutontonkanya ukuchita understand ifile chikefinde chita fikaba sokuntaji chisenda amaka chisenda wisdom chisendo luselo wakwalesa okusena minwa nomupashi fyo wakwalesa because kwali bafimo efichitwa chimono amenjinga yaitika njebeni nani ukolongani nani wakwatama kaya kwabati imfula filia iloka ngayati iloke but tamwaka mone posaini ya mfula ngayapite mfula umushiri ulanwa menji yonse make sure echitafia disappear. When we are no more, when we cannot appear again, what will be said of us? Imweba MP obaralelanda tinamsende MP ya. Imweba MP mweba ikalamuti wa mwanda ikalambu kwebati mulelandila abene Zambia. Abene Zambia bafuma bamivotela, bamipela no muchishi mwaba abantu. Bambitatua shibena mashina yenu. Deivo Kisha. It was only a few months ago. Balelanda muliam parliament. Wetuletamba. Chamupambe church tike kwimpungu. Adilandilepo. Natile shatala monapo. Ama MP. Ukufuma. They walked out. They walked
We're ruling
out.
MPs, right? The ruling MPs walked out, right? So I'm like, this is crazy. I saw that. I saw it. I'm like, how can ruling MPs walk out? I'm a ruling MPs never walk out. I was like, this is crazy.
Ruling. I was flabbergasted. I was shocked. Ruling MPs walked out for the simple fact they were being asked to be held accountable. In Congole, ama issues ya mind, ama la ukufuma. Kwimpumi. Ngataba fumi never opposition. Bari chichena. Epo keshbila abasendempia nabashasenda.
Bonse naba fuma. Takurina ngumo wachima. When that bill was brought back, no one stood out to walk out. That is another point. Mwekeshe nipo mama bele if you mwalanda.
Ama leading MPs. Shishibe. Dimbini induba, dimbini shitechita understand. Deibukisha. A few months ago, Elobale dilema question. Bene vana been well. Bene mundu bile bene. They asked specifically. Ankongole, bafia ba mopani, bafia malaiti, bachitile okuima, bambile fyo kumwinta, wonse, badi fumini, dei pusha. Usheba opposition, muchinefe na muchishinka ni ba oppositioni, muchinefe na muchishinka bantu baba votele, muchinefe na muchishinka ni Muzambia munomwine turi. Umuntu umo in the entire country. Bakaunda bamobene abale sunge fyuma. Kabare pusha bakaunda nishmule vyadi le fyumuti. Iyo de vyadi labana bakuntanshi. Ukusonta pofyo muntu umo. Ati uyu. Ewe ngona ule chana. Bapisi mwachlalanda chana. Umuntu yugushe zona ishile fye mukona ula fye chalo. Omune chishinko fe chaba. Bali omuntu alelanda. Tualelanda. Webantu bakwalesa. Ama land reforms ayabaletele. Namwishwati ba FQM bale ba putuile mpange ikulu wapa pene tulelanda. Bantu balelanda pamapon, pama lesa alanga tatuiswile vya menzo lesa anga tatusena minefye nokutupera vya makaya kushandastandi vile chitika demieba na kufyalo kumbi tatu akabutukileko apa babotswana bali bize balelwile chalo chabo ndemieba nabekatana banamibia bali ntu nabeminina bale facing about German bale facing about America bale facing a chalo chonsi nabeminina neshwilimu babukina baseo nabeminina balelwile chalo chabo banaije. People are fighting for their countries. Here we are, giving our country, raping, completely annihilate. Everything we've ever known to be Zambia is being destroyed, and we're sitting and watching. In our own eyes. Not Bamuisa, Nibamuisa indirectly, but
with our help, we are enabling them.
But on a silver plate at the cost of the
Bareva pokerera mwaise no kubapokerera kuma airport kulia. Kubapokerera no kubashindika. Baya nga bamfati baleyi sana ku airport oko bali mwaise mukwanishike nwani bude.
Nangu tabakumene kairi fish lepo apate tabakumana na mumenzo y'abantu. Ine nchiri pali question imoine why tabachimi na ba opposition nchiri pali ya peni ero nchire imapo nchiri ndei kusha why ngatabo mfwana why ngatabasendele mpia why gachachi ne babera popo kulandira vyabana defe twalangalefi defi.
Tulanda fishinka. The truth will set us free one day. Tulanda fishinka.
Today, fishinka is only the truth that will set Zambia free. I'm telling you the truth. Let us ask ourselves. Nimpia nshibasenda abantunga bafwa.
That's why, you know, ama MPs ama Zambia wengi, these MPs who serve Zambian parliament, they go to their villages to nothing, you know, because they curse themselves because of their behaviors, what they do in parliament. Nangu to send Nanguba Jack Mwimbu has been in parliament 25 years. Pantu ngakula bafya chimunga mwayapa mushipali ba Jack Mwimbu.
Sour grapes the Bible talks about. Ukwebati abafya shibali sour grapes, and it set the children's teeth on edge. If they are good ya. If they are good ya. Tefyon se ya. Kwari bapofya no kulanda tawe ninjikuta. Urinen sala last. I don't know what happened to this country.
It has been a culture, you know. Babela, Apopeniapo. The thing is, this has exposed the Zambian parliament. Because this parliament has been running like this for years. But Nombeina Ibachita expose. Mamona.
It has, you're very right. Because why I say that? Look at the NTEs. Look at the numbers, my sister. You cry. Non-traditional exports. Look at the labor force that has been increased. That only sucks the treasury. If you're Parliament teachers, they only suck the system of income. They do not bring domestic income. They do not bring forex. Where is the increased power? How can we be in one country and report to say there was a drought? This government company is crashing. in the same country with the same drought, a private company is booming. Where is CEC getting power from that they're booming?
Canona. Canona.
That is a non-traditional export. Amalaiti, agriculture, non-traditional exports. They have doubled, in some cases tripled, in the part-time of UPND. Babi, if ama exports vale banga, nama export vale banga ba UPND. Lekeni nye, ama figures nishta vale chila publish. Iyo in a BILL7, nishta vale chila publish the exact roadmap, and now feel vale for change. Why have they not set it out clearly for every Zambian person to read? Nish vale fisa. Impia shiakwisa. Shiakwi. Zambia has never exported as much power as it exports now. This is the fundamental truth. While we're busy being told about load shed, drought, load shed, drought. SAP has been built on a simple system. That excess deficit. Southern Africa Power Pool has been there since crisis. Queen Pumi ngole ukula, ngole banga maplanga, ngole ipikechi chonse, malaiti wala buvya. Amalaiti yaisa for 1 hour 30 minutes in Jebeli Finshu catch highway. 1 hour 30 minutes in Jebeli Nanguri Shiru. Nankwatama ngama tayo zaya kuputura, ngama geta yaku welinga. Ukabombe nchitonshi. Inch to 3 days, Yaisa said the 3 weeks. Nimpia Shukapanga. We shouldn't even be talking about load shed. It's not even a conversation that we should be having. No, we mustn't be like Zambia, where I must fire everybody just because of their political affiliation. We are the bad example.
Not to say, Vanna.
May the Lord remember us in His mercy. May great mercy locate this country. Oh Lord, do not forsake your own. Remember your name. Answer us by your mercy for your name's sake, not for our sake. May the Lord's hand be stretched out over us. Ukuluba kwena twari lubile, nombale zadwelele. Adwelele. Bengabalandile. And we chose not to heed that voice. Lesomwini akanyo mundu 20 years. Imwatu yuwine. Are you sure? Was that the right decision? May God have mercy. May God show His mercy to us. Even as we pray day and night, oh Lord, do not forget us. I'm shocked, I'm devastated, I'm disappointed, but we do not trust in men. Ababena. Be careful. Elo muntu takwete nsambu yako chite chibi nokwisala ndati nichwampatira. Takwete po nsambu yako ipusha nokubepa abantu kufi nokwisala ndati nichmulelandira palile. Takwete nsambu iyakuchita personalize ifundeli ya chalo. What does a whole country's constitution have to do with you personally? We're not even interested in you personally. We don't even care. What we're interested in is in the security and safety and prosperity of our country. Umuntu bamuita kumulando ambokulando fyachiri akachelo breakfast. Kuma mumona shani. Chilesa mukulando kwe bati tadi sana. Tadi sana. You mwalimu patati mwalimu. What does it have to do with you? Tulelanda chalo wabika po breakfast table yobe bed yobe. Sorry to say your nakedness. Every time there are national issues, uyo chipo iminina chipo economic zone
distractions.
Webantu bakwalesa
Kuyangasha abantu.
They are my sister.
Kuyangasha abantu lona bena balelumba awe
division with one voice in we should never trust in a person. Abapena ngatatwa ishira abapena tusambirire pochinga chimo bakaunda manage to muntu ngabombesha aila to be a loyal servant for the country bambula mind bamupela for loyal service lelo balichipishe chalo balichipisha bene Zambia ichiri chonzo mwine Zambia kuti achula tabauti nako and yet bali abachulile chalo lesatwelele
Mwebena Zambia Mwandini, you know ama MPs have been exposed. These MPs, Zambian MPs have had a tendency. Bali kwata tendency ya kamusango. That's why in Zambia, that's where you can go to a village. You fuma MP tapadi fia chitikaku. You go to these countries. Umuntu ngari ni MP wa hapa village yakwe. Ali wami omusebo kufumafye ku capital city kuyafika pa village pamwakwe umusebo wali wama. But our Zambian MPs, because they don't do the right thing, you know, they go and work for themselves. They don't MP shilaluba pe shaluba MP shine baleba pela shilaluba because ni blood money tapale fyo winga chitapo nangufimo na inene ule womba with my sweat. I have even done things if you kubati kuchina sonta. Some of these people balakwata ma cases ya kwafeti n'abana batuma abana kuma school abana bafiro okusambirira. Why bale wonfya blood money? I have a testimony. Kuri bambya baba boss abama bosses. Abana bonse batuma kufyalo bambya bo balebwera na ma drugs. Na babeni tababa tomatoes ya botulelanda po ba tomatoes. Umwana wabo tabwerere bamutuma omwana kufyalo wabwera. Why? Because impia shadi tipwesho babonfya. They have money, they have resources. Basende impia abana babo basambirire kuli abana babo kuingira fyo ma drugs life happen. Why? It is the seed is contaminated that they are using.
Mama Brad Mane efo ibombe kofi. Na ngubenga bapera ma 3 million yo compare chimpieti na ngukampera mayanda tapalo kofia as long as pero breastikisha na nguwa bapera mpia shingi sana ngabashi kokane shoshini ya my brother mukabasanga flat one by one barepo na fyo max efikala ko one by one bamukula mwana tomato alikutyaro alibwera bamugwesha bamupera na mashina ya yangu bamwera jani
bamuchinja na mashina bamubika nombo omuntu wabwereremu ale kitesunko ewinga but kwena
mama ingono mbwene mu BILL7 nangu before shiranga pa BILL7 baba ndoko babike ningarato tafiti barende tuleko tambo kumbe ningarato uwa isa wonze kwa fyanda uwa isa twatishashani efyo bale bonfya na lombali namba.
Uganda mwebantu. These people came with a plan. They came with a Uganda plan. Why is that yet? If we got to is in 2090.
So if you are paying to buy at first, you have to alenda marriage. Papa marriage na kama unataka kwenda 10 years. Na kwa tarehe just kaika report. Ero majority ya